Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I've come to realize that if I am ever going to post regularly, I'm just going to have to share my life with you. So I decided to turn my camera on while I was making supper tonight. I am trying a recipe that I've never made before, and it is called King Ranch Chicken. I put some frozen chicken breasts in the Instant Pot for 35 minutes because they were rock solid and there were 6 of them. And then I cut up some onions and some peppers from last year's garden. I know I've seen this recipe around for a very long time. I don't know how, I've never made it before. There are quite a few different variations online, but I decided to go with a simple one that had all ingredients that I already had on hand. I will go ahead and tell you ahead of time that this is not necessarily a healthy dish. It calls for cream of mushroom soup, cream of chicken soup. It does have rotel and onion and peppers. I think it's going to be a big hit. I'm totally thrilled that we are still using bell peppers from last year's garden. I know Jessica at Three Rivers Homestead calls them money plants. I absolutely love the late summer harvests of buckets full of bell peppers. They are $1.40 to $1.50 a piece at the grocery store, and I love having a freezer full of them through the winter, and I plan on growing a lot more this summer. The one thing that I will do differently than I did last summer is the heating element on my vacuum sealer was broken. So I borrowed a neighbor's food saver once or twice, but I need to go ahead and order a new heat element for my food saver so that I can individually vacuum seal each pepper as I dice them or slice them. Or in this case, I froze a lot of them whole toward the end of the season when I was just completely exhausted from preserving food. I would just throw whole gallon bags of whole tomatoes and whole peppers into the freezer, knowing that I could do something with them later. But the quality of your garden fresh vegetables definitely stays fresh longer if you're able to vacuum seal before you freeze them. I preheated my cast iron skillet over medium-low heat with some olive oil, and I let the onions, peppers, and a little garlic simmer for quite a while until everything was soft and the onions were translucent. Then I went ahead and mixed all the other ingredients in my 20-quart gigantic stainless steel mixing bowl. I used a large can of cream of chicken soup, 2 regular sized cans of cream of mushroom, 2 cans of tomatoes with diced chilies. Next, I added the onions, peppers, and garlic to the mixing bowl. At this point, the chicken still had about another 10 or 15 minutes in the Instant Pot, so I decided to cover the mixing bowl and get the kitchen cleaned up while I waited. It's such a great feeling to sit down to dinner and your kitchen is already clean. You don't have any work to do afterwards except for my teenager that's on dish duty this week. She will lovingly load the dishwasher when we're all finished, and then we all just get to relax. I am a small business owner. Normally I work the majority of my hours from home, but I have an employee out this week, so I've had to leave the house quite a few times. And I just end up getting really behind on all of the things around my house. I enjoy watching cleaning videos on Instagram and YouTube, so somehow that always motivates me to share my cleaning with you when I'm doing these day in the life type videos. Cleaning my stovetop has got to be one of my least favorite chores in the entire house. I don't do it often enough, as you can see, and the stove is used 2 to 3 times minimum every single day. A lot of my children are pretty proficient in the kitchen and enjoy cooking as well, and it just adds up day after day. It really needs to be cleaned at least once every couple days. I find that a dish sponge with a little soap and water tends to really do the job pretty well. I get most of the suds off and then I just wipe it dry with a clean rag. And that's about as clean as it gets. I typically will scrub the cast iron grate with the sponge as well and just dry it off and put everything back. Now it's ready to get dirty again. Sometimes I like to surprise my child that's on dish duty for the week by taking care of all of the dishes for them. I took the metal grate out of the bottom of my sink a few months ago and it has stayed so much cleaner. I don't know about you, but cleaning is so motivating to me. Once I get going, I typically want to finish the whole job. So I decided that I would vacuum the floors and go ahead and mop before I put dinner in the oven. I use a Shark Navigator as my home vacuum. I like it a lot. It's easy to tote up and down the stairs. There's different attachments. It's easy to clean out. And then this Bissell Spinwave is by far my favorite Christmas gift from this past year. Once the chicken was finished and all of the pressure was released, I moved the chicken into my KitchenAid mixer to shred. I'm sure you've probably tried this already, but it's pretty life-changing. You just use the cookie paddle, turn it on low, and let it go for maybe 15-20 seconds, and your chicken is all evenly shredded, and you never have to use 2 forks to shred chicken again. Now that my chicken is shredded and my kitchen is clean, it's time to mix it all together and assemble this casserole. Now, this recipe called for corn tortillas, and you almost assemble this casserole like a Southwest lasagna. However, I did not have corn tortillas, so I decided to use tortilla chips. I mixed everything together, and I thought it was a little bit dry, so I decided to add some of the broth left in the Instant Pot from when I cooked the chicken. That was exactly what it needed. Now it's time to assemble. I lined the bottom of both pans with whole tortilla chips. Then I spread the chicken mixture evenly in both pans. I could have added more whole tortilla chips to the top, but I decided to crush them and spread them out because I knew I was going to be topping the casseroles with cheese, and I thought the texture would be nicer once it's cooked. I shredded about 8 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese and spread it evenly over both casseroles. Into the oven at 375 degrees for about 25 or 30 minutes. Now it's time to get the last of these dishes washed. There's something almost therapeutic about hand washing dishes. You're not waiting on the dishwasher. The dishwasher isn't waiting on you to unload it when everything is finished. You just clean it right then and there, dry it, and put it back where it belongs. I'm rather sad to report this dinner was not as big a hit as I expected it to be. My kids' consensus in general was that it tasted a lot like our chicken enchiladas, but they didn't like it as much. So I don't think I'll be making this recipe again, primarily because our chicken enchiladas have a lot less ingredients. I feel like they were more flavorful, and they're definitely more healthy. My consolation prize, however, was definitely my clean kitchen, all the way down to the mopped floors. There's just nothing like finishing supper, closing everything down for the night, and knowing that you're going to wake up to a clean kitchen. Thanks for watching.